Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kyra, and here on this channel we're all about real makeup for real life and real people. Today's video is my bi-monthly Shop My Stash Get Ready With Me. On the opposite months, I do a Project Pan Get Ready With Me. So today we're going to use some products from my current Shop My Stash video. I'm going to have that up in the cards for you, as well as in the description box. And we are going to do a look with the stunning Natasha Denona TrioChrome palette, which admittedly I haven't got as much use out of. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I'm really enjoying this. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. It does come out, it does come out green. It has sort of a sweet mint scent to it, and it does feel cooling. So I do like this so far. It definitely gets tacky, kind of like the Hydro Grip primer from Milk Makeup, but super cheaper. I think it's smoothing. I like that it grips onto my makeup because it is a little bit tacky, so to speak. But I do also feel like it's hydrating. So I'm just really liking this primer, and I'm enjoying trying it with different foundations. All right, so for foundation, I have never tried this. This has been lurking in my drawers for probably over a year now. It's probably expired, to be honest, but I'm going to use it anyways. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless for normal to oily skin. I am an oily girl, and I have the shade 118 Light Beige. You know, first drawback with this one is that it's just an open bottle. So I'm going to dot this around my skin, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend it in with my sponge as I normally would. This might be a tad light for me right now. How cute do I look? But I do think the powder that I'm going to use today is a titch dark for me right now, so it might all work out. I've always wanted to try this, and of course, like I said, I am an oily girl, so I feel like, you know, this kind of thing is meant for my skin type, but I also don't tend to wear matte things very often anymore. I really do prefer a more dewy foundation and look and just have to, like, set it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't love it. I don't love the way it looks on my skin, but like I said, I think maybe I should try it with a brush. Of course, it's in my Shop My Stash for this month, so I'm gonna try it multiple times, but I don't love how it looks right now, but we'll see how it looks once I get everything on. For concealer, I'm gonna use my Hello Fab Bendy Avocado concealer. And I love this concealer. I do think after I finish my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away concealer in Partners in Cream, this will probably be the next concealer that I work on finishing, which is part of why I put it in my Shop My Stash for this month. I can't believe people aren't still talking about it, because I just think it's so hydrating, and especially on mature skin, I just love the way it feels. There you go. I mean, it doesn't cover up all your sins, but just enough to leave your skin looking believable and not completely canceled out, which is what I like. To me, that's the money spot for concealer. The powder that I'm going to use today is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Perfecting Powder. I bought the shade Beige, which is for L4 to M1 foundation shades, and I do think it's slightly dark for me right now, but it might just help even things out, and it does feel like a really smooth powder. So, you know, I'm excited to get to know this one this month. I had bought it a while back, but I haven't really used it because I was so pale and this wasn't pale enough, but it is such a, it's like a very soft, silky powder. I'm gonna go over that powder a little bit, just lightly with my sponge. Press it down, make sure I don't have any excess. Anyways, I don't know whether I want to set my under eyes with this. I think this might be too dark. So I am gonna pull in, actually I have got this new powder that came in some friend mail. It's called the Catrice Prime and Fine Mattifying Powder, waterproof, transparent. And my friend and subscriber that sent it to me said that she really likes this for her under eye. So I'm gonna try this. I tried this all over my face yesterday and I actually really did like it. I actually felt like it increased the longevity of my makeup in combination with another primer. Ooh, that actually looks really nice under the eyes. I always like to start on the outer part of the eye so that as I work my brush inward, I have less powder on the brush. But holy moly, I like the way that looks. All right, I see you. All right, for bronzer, one of my favorites in my collection, I'm gonna use the Clinique Powder Pop Flower Bronzer in the shade Solar Pop. And I wore this a ton in 2020 and I haven't worn it this year so far, I don't think, or if I did, it was like one day maybe that I pulled it out. And I just love the tone of this bronzer. I also love that since it's kind of that same formula as their blushes, it's very firmly pressed. And so I don't have to be so careful going into the pan to pick up the product. I can just kind of swirl my brush in there and then just lightly build the bronze on the skin. And it's just such a beautiful color. It's kind of, like I said, it's buildable and it's a little bit sheer. And I definitely think they need to have more shades of this come out. But I do think that this particular one and only shade that they have would work at least for fair to medium skin tones, maybe even tan. So I just love this bronzer. It's absolutely a favorite. Sometimes I wish I had put this in my 21 pans in 2021 project versus the balm Take Home the Bronze, but I don't. I want to hit pan on the balm one, but this would be one I would consider working on later in the year, maybe, just because I like panning things that I love. That's one thing I figured out about myself. I really prefer to pan things that I love, or hit pan, you know, work on progressing in my collection with things that I love. Then I'm more than happy to focus on some of those products. I actually think I'm going to go in with the matching highlighter from Clinique. This is the Powder Pop Flower Highlighter in the shade Lunar Pop. This is what she looks like. Beautiful. Also a favorite last year. I got a ton of use out of this one and I still love it. It's just a beautiful, somewhere between like a French vanilla and champagne, but it also has a little bit of peachiness to it, which is very flattering to my skin tone. These loose hairs are gonna drive me bonkers. So I do like this one a whole lot. It's very standard though. I don't think the shade's overly unique, but I love this Powder Pop Flower whatever formula. And it's a nice natural glow, but you could definitely build it up to be more than natural, I think. And I have definitely been bringing my highlighter further forward on my cheeks. I just like this little glow right here. This is a lovely blush that was a recommendation from my girl Kelly here on YouTube. Her channel is GlamWithKelly, and I will link her down below. And I was very scared when I got this, but I'm excited to use it again. My hubby actually picked out this blush in a video where I had him pick out a full face of makeup. It's the NYX Sweet Cheeks Glow Blush in the shade Citrine Rose. It is uber pigmented, but it is so pretty. And it's actually one of the few glowy blushes that I don't feel like it accentuates texture. So hopefully that'll be the same today. Little under nose. Whoa. Okay. Let's go around the edges here. So pretty. I love it. Thank you very much, NYX. Okay, TrioChrome. So I do feel like, hence the peach shirt here, I want to go into this little trio right here today. And it's possible that I've done a look similar to this before, so that if that's the case, then sorry about your luck. Just kidding. So the first shade that I want to go into is this shade right here, this little peachy orangey number called Diatonic. I could have used Vertex actually to set my primer, but you know, hindsight. So I'm dipping in with my big fluffy and going to attempt to blow this out in the transition area and crease a little bit. I do like that this Fenty primer is like a little bit brightening on the eyes as well. So here's your first impression on that. I used it for the first time yesterday, like I said, and it was actually quite impressive. By the time I went to bed, and I had done some sweating because I was cleaning some carpet, and it was barely creased, like the tiniest little line after having my makeup on all day, being outside, cleaning carpets, etc., etc., and I was just so impressed. So I'm really excited that I did go ahead and decide to try this, because my thing was, I don't want to spend the whole summer doing eyeshadow for it to just completely disappear after a few hours. Most of the time, the Paint Pot and the Ulta Beauty Matte Eyeshadow Primer work really well for me, but during the warm months, you know, from about May through October, I suppose, my eyeshadow just creases and creases, and it seems to get worse as I get older. Oops. So, I don't know. I'm really happy. This almost has like a waxy texture, which sounds like it would be counterintuitive for an eyeshadow primer because wax, you know, melts with heat or whatever. But I don't know, it's something magical. I am so glad that I picked it up. Next, I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Garmin. It's a really pretty rosy brown, I guess I would call it. And I'm gonna put this on the outer part of the lid and then blend it up into the crease, and then we'll probably go back and blend it out a little bit more with that original peachy shade. But I first want to get to full opacity on about the outer half of the lid. And I'm going to flip my brush over and pull it up. If you're not new here, you know the drill. I like to flip my brush, flick it up toward the end of my brow, and it kind of just gives that light lift right in the exact spot where I need it. Very pretty. I just love that shade, honestly. If I had to pick one shade to pan out of this palette, I don't know why I'm panning on the brain today. Probably because Angela and I were talking about it on the phone earlier. If you don't know who Angela is, she's my partner in crime here on YouTube. And, you know, we just really support each other on this crazy journey on the internet. And we were talking about project panning this morning on the phone. So that's probably why I have it on my brain. But if I had to, I now look at my palettes and I'm like, if I had to pan a shade in there or wanted to pan a shade in there, which would I choose? And I think for this palette, it would be this one because I just love how it looks. It's such a beautiful sort of rosy brown color, crease color. I'm gonna pick up this little pencil brush from Sony Kashuk and go ahead and apply this to about the outer half or so of the lower lash line, kind of make it match the top. And then when we go back in with Diatonic to blend out upstairs, we'll also use it on the downstairs. In fact, we'll do that first. We'll dip into Diatonic, the peachy shade, with the same brush. And instead of starting on the outside, we'll start it on the inside, and then we will blend where they meet. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up kind of a flat blending brush and go back into that peachy shade. I'm going to start this kind of in the front of the crease and just get that little pop of peach going on up here that's not sort of muddied by the crease shade. And then I will blend out the crease shade and try not to blend it up to my eyebrows. Story of my life. The duochrome I want to use today is this one right here on the bottom row. So it's kind of got like this greenish quality, maybe you can see here, and then it flips into purple. It also has like some kind of warmth in there that's really interesting. So I'm gonna take my little short-handled MAC 217 and pick up that color. It's called Color Flip. And I'm going to try and keep this to the center of the eye because I do have a loose pigment that I picked and put in my Shop My Stash this month. And I'm going to put that on the very inner part of the lid. But this is so pretty. I could just put it on all dang day. I hope in some way it will translate either on camera or in my up close pictures that I always include. This is a pigment. I don't believe this particular shade is available anymore, but it is a pigment from Naked Cosmetics in the shade Java. Looks like this, but it's a lot lighter, I feel like, in a swatch than it is, than what it looks like in the in the container, I guess. Whoa. So what I'm gonna do is pick it up on my little flat eyeshadow brush right here. I'm gonna spray it and see if we can't brighten up this inner part a little bit. Ooh, that is pretty. I like that. I think it would be a beautiful like inner corner color as well. I just don't want to go too crazy with it today since we have such a beautiful TrioChrome situation going on. All right, I'm going to quick curl the lashes and put on my eyeliners. I'm going to put my Pixie Eye Bright in the lower inner rim and tightline with my Wet n Wild Simmer Brown now eyeliner, and then we'll come back for my It's a New mascara. All right, eyeliners are on, eyelashes are curled, and in my monochromatic project pan for the month of May, the color is red. So I popped out my little Smashbox Superfan mascara. I tried this for the first time yesterday, and it's pretty nice. It's definitely something I like in terms of its lengthening, and it looks pretty natural. It does have a little silicone brush, but I find that silicone brushes do tend to help with separation and length. So as much as I don't like poking myself in the eye with a silicone mascara brush, I like them and the effect they give to my lashes. So just going to build this up on the eyes a little bit. Very pretty. I'm not going to put anything on the lower lash line, on the lower lashes rather, today. I just don't, I feel like the eye looks a little heavy, so I don't want to weigh it down by doing lower lash mascara. All right, let's talk about a lip. I actually put quite a few lippies in my Shop My Stash for the month. So I'm gonna look and see what we got here. I think one of these two. I kind of want to go with Dulce Vita. I haven't worn that one for a long time. And I'm going to start off by lining with my Milani Understatement lip liner in the shade Nude Entrance. It might break today or fall out today. It's already broken, but there's just like the teeny tiniest little bit left. This is the NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil. Some of you may know that I adore this formula. And this is this specific shade, Dulce Vita. And it's just so pretty. Does it go with the eye look though? Maybe. What do we think? I don't know. The eye look definitely turned out a little darker than what I had initially planned. I don't know why. I've just been having a lot of days like that lately where my makeup just is not turning out how I wanted it. All right, let me do something with the hair and put on some very awesome earrings that I got in some friend mail, and then I will come back and we'll talk about my thoughts on the products that we use today, if any, and we'll wrap this puppy up. All right, we're back. This is as good as the hair is gonna get, and how flappin' awesome are these earrings. They're supposed to be designer inspired, and I got these from a friend and they look like opal, which is totally my jam. So I'm very excited about these fun statement earrings that I'll have to be wearing for you guys in some videos soon. The hair, you know how that goes. I need a haircut real bad. And I want to apply a little gloss. I think that's going to help me feel better about this lip. Like I said, there's not a ton of pigment, but I think it's just peachy enough that it's gonna help a little bit for everything to sort of meld together. So here is the final look. What do you think? It was kind of a journey to get here. I like the eye look. I wouldn't say it's my favorite look I've ever come out with from the TrioChrome palette, but I do really enjoy it. Matte and Poreless, probably not going to be a favorite, but I am going to keep testing it through the month. Love the Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. And I am semi-surprised at how well this Catrice powder looks under my eyes. So I'm very excited about that. And this blush, can you believe it? It is so pretty, and especially for spring. So that's my little wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope that you guys are safe and well and hopefully enjoying spring weather or enjoying whatever season wherever you are. I wish all of the beautiful and good things in life for you guys, and I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days, and I will see you in my next video real soon.